Hey guys, this is Gary. I'm going to teach you how to enter in a bond today. The first thing to do is when you're logged into BillBooks, go to the Bonds tab, and you'll see we have two options: New Bond Add All Info or New Bond Quick Add. If you want to enter in collateral and cosigner, go ahead and do the New Bond Add All Info. If you just want to enter in the bond and the defendant, go to New Bond Quick Add. So I'm going to do New Bond Add All Info. The first step is telling the system who the defendant is. So I'm going to do David Smith. His birth date is 09/12/1976. Now, if for whatever reason you don't have the birth date or you haven't got it yet, enter 01/01/2001. So anytime you see that birth date, you'll know that that was one that you didn't know. I'm going to go ahead and set the gender to male, and I'm going to go ahead and click Add More Defendant Info. You could just select Quick Add if you just want to go right to step 2. And you can always come back and add phone numbers and everything like that. But I'm going to do Add More Defendant Info because I want to add his weight. So let's just say he was 215 pounds and he was 6'3". So you'll see down below is where I could add addresses and phone numbers and so forth. I'm going to go ahead and hit Next. So hitting Next will let me go to step 2. You have two options here. One is Add Bond Simple and the other one is Add Bond Full Info. If you want to go ahead and enter in a transfer bond or a rewrite, you can do the Add Bond Full Info. I'm going to go ahead and just do the Add Bond Simple. That's what about 90% of the time you're going to select. And the reason we recommend the Add Bond Simple is it puts all the required fields in one spot. So you'll see to enter a bond, I have to tell the system how much the bond was. So let's say this is a 3,500. I hit Tab, and now it wants to know where's this person going back to court. So he's going back to Adams, and the charges say is at FTA. And then it comes up if we have it in our system. Now, if you start typing a charge that doesn't come up, you can select Add New, and you can go ahead and add the charge, hit Save, and then it'll come up. If you make a mistake here, go ahead and hit Clear. The reason we do our charges drop down this way, because a lot of states, they'll make the bond for multiple charges. So let's just say he had a child abuse charge in there as well. So if I hit Save, you'll see the system will automatically put a comma in between. Down below, under bond date, it defaults to the current date, but you can change it by clicking the calendar. Say we did this bond on the 8th. The premium is already calculating at 10%. If you charge the defendant more or less than this, you can double click with your mouse and hit the delete key and then type whatever else you charge them for. Posted at wants to know where this bond was posted. So I'm going to select the bond was posted at piano. And then the agent who posted the bond was case. The prefix that was used was FCS1. You'll notice the insurer was already set for me because I only have one insurance company. If you have an account that has multiple, you can go ahead and select the insurance company first. The power number that's available for me for FCS1 are here. If the power number is not showing up for whatever reason, you can select Add New, and then you can go ahead and add the power number right here. One thing to note when you're adding a single power number, you don't need to go ahead and enter in the last power number. And a good rule of thumb is if you're entering the power right now and you're going to use it right away, just put the expire date, today's date, because it's not important now because you're using it. And then just hit Save. So I'm going to go ahead and select the power number 110. Case number isn't required for this account, but your account may be one that the case number is required, and that depends on your administrator. It's a good idea to add it anyway if you have it. Return court and time are required by default, but for whatever reason, if you don't have it, just change this drop down from specific date to be set, and then it's no longer required. Over here under billable items, this is where I would select an item that I'm charging him in addition to the premium. So let's just say I want to charge him an agency fee of $25. So you'll see that I selected agency fee and the amount is 0.00. So I can double click with my mouse, highlight it, hit the delete key, and I can type in, say, $25. And the reason we recommend you do it this way is we don't want you putting or adding any additional fees inside the premium because then it looks like you're overcharging him. So now that I have the billable item for agency fee, and again, we give you 4 items to do that. So if you wanted to charge the guy, say, a travel fee or any other item, you can go ahead and select. Down below, you'll have an option that says Save and Add Another Bond. So if this is his only bond, you can just hit Save. But if you had, say, another bond to enter in, hit Save and Add Another Bond. So I'm going to hit Save. And then now you'll see it takes me back to step 2. There's the bond we just added. I'm going to go ahead and hit Next. Step 3 is the cosigner step. If your defendant co-signed for himself, because say he was a homeowner, go ahead and click the link here and it'll add him as an indemnitor. Say his wife co-signed. So I'm going to select add indemnitor and I'm going to add her name, Sarah, and her last name is Smith. And the bond date for, or her birth date is 09/12/1992. The gender is female. Now you'll notice there's a relationship drop-down field. It wants to know how is this indemnitor related to the defendant. So you'll see wife is at the very bottom. Now if I wanted to add phone numbers for her and addresses, weight, height, I can go add more defendant info. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and just click quick add. So hitting quick add, you'll see that Sarah now is added as a cosigner. I'm going to go ahead and hit next. And then hitting next will take me to the collateral taken step 4. So you'll notice that we automatically add promissory note and indemnity agreement for the defendant. We're assuming you at least took this. If you took any more collateral, just click add collateral. And you could go ahead and select the type. So let's just say we took a household good and items from her. It belongs to Sarah. Now the reason that her name is the only option is because we have to pull from whoever the indemnitors were. So if I added 5 indemnitors, then I have 5 people to select for here. The cash amount for the household good items that we value it is say $120. Date received, say we received that on the 8th. And then it wants to know who's holding these household goods. So I'm going to say the company's holding it. And then down below, you can put the description or what did you actually take. So let's just say we took a stereo. Okay, so I'm done here. I'm going to hit save. So now you'll notice that now household goods and items have been added for Sarah. I'm going to go ahead and next. And hitting next will take me to step 5. Step 5 is just a review step. Just wants to know, does everything look fine? Let's just say this 3,500 should have been actually 35,000. Then I would go ahead and hit edit. Takes me back to step 2 where I can change that. I'm going to go ahead and hit next. And now hitting next will take me to the last step. So I'm done now. What happened now is that power that I use is changed from the available status to the executed status. So now what I want to do is click this option, enter payment, because you told the system how much the bond was. You told the system how much you charged. Now you need to tell the system how much did you actually collect. So I'm going to select the method was cash. And you'll notice these have a red bar. These all have to be filled out. So you can't skip any of them. So the type was for premium. The amount this person paid was, say they paid the whole amount, $375. The date they paid it was on the 8th. And it was received by case. So now that I have all the required fields, I have to tell the system where should it apply this money. Well, since he only has one outstanding invoice, I check the box next to this invoice and you'll see it plugged into $375. If he were to have, say, 3 outstanding invoices, then you can tell the system, you can check this one, I want to apply $100 here, or check the next one and apply the other $275 there, and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save and close. You could hit save and print receipt. System would print out a receipt, or save an email. If you added an email for the defendant and the indemnitor, that's where the system would actually email them a receipt. For right now, I'm just going to hit save and close. And now I'm done. It takes me back to the client summary for that defendant that we just added. If you have any more questions about adding a bond, please do give me a call. But again, this is the most basic core of BailBooks that you have to get, because none of the other stuff in BailBooks even matters. If you can't enter bonds, it doesn't matter what the other stuff does. Now, the first bond may take you 10 minutes, but by the time you get to that 6th bond, you should be fairly fast. And again, if you have any questions, just give us a call and we'll walk you through it. Thanks and have a great day.